Welcome to the Bethel Sundridge Sermon of the Week. Thanks for taking the time to listen. We hope this message provides clarity, deeper insights, and transformation for your life. We hope you enjoy the message.
So this week, it's kind of a one-off message. It's kind of one that Curtis basically, when he came to me, he just said, Dave, speak what's on your heart. He said, speak what's on your heart, what's God been saying to you, and go from there. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm taking what God has been kind of sharing with me and with Rachel over the past bit, and running with it. So are you cool with that? You good? Yeah. Cool. All right. So if you're wondering what we're doing, you can see behind me. The title of this message is Next Level Purpose. This year we've been talking about next level. That's our theme for the year, right? And we've been talking about how we want God to take us to the next level. And I think for some of us, we've had dreams birthed in our lives. We've had things in our lives that God has placed, and we're kind of going, oh, what's next? Right? Well, God, what do you have next? Right? And so today I figured, why not address that? Right? And so if you're with me, we're going to be going to a couple verses in the Bible. They'll be up behind me if you don't have your Bible with you. But the first one is Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will be with you, and He will show you which path to take. And then there's another one in Proverbs later on, in Proverbs 16, and I'm kind of paraphrasing the three verses that I'm taking, but verse 1 says, we can make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer. Verse 4, it says, the Lord has made everything for His own purposes, even the wicked for a day of disaster. And then in verse 9 it says, we can make our own plans, but the Lord determines our steps. Right? That's right. And so today, my first point is this. My first point is that plans and purposes are two different things. Right? So often in our culture, we go around and we say, oh, I have it planned out. Especially when you're a teenager. When you're in high school, they come to you now and they say, you gotta have it figured out. Like, you don't know where you're going to college. You're in grade 9. That's like 4 years from now. How do you not have it figured out? And you almost feel this pressure, right? You gotta have it figured out. You have to have a step-by-step plan, right? But see, this is the difference, right? A plan is a scheme or method of acting, doing, proceeding, making, etc., developed in advance, right? And then a purpose, as you'll see behind me, is the reason for which something exists, right? They're a little bit different. See, a plan is something that we make up in advance. It's something that we choose and we decide in advance. But see, God's calling us to His purpose. And His purpose is why we exist. Right? See, nowhere in the Bible, at least not that I can find it, does it say, draw up a plan, figure out each step, then run it by God, and He will reject or approve it based on how well planned out it is. Ooh, sorry, you took a cut. Wasn't very well planned. Administration is not your gift. Right? Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. Instead, God promises that He'll be with us every step of the way, and that we don't need to know the plan. Right? And the thing about God's promises is that He never breaks them. It's just like the song said. God hasn't failed us, He won't start now. That's right. And He makes promises and keeps them. Amen. See, God doesn't want us to have every step figured out or planned. He simply wants us to take one step of faith and watch what He does with it. And you see that in Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6, right? It says, trust the Lord with all your heart, all your plans, all your dreams, and He will be with you, right? One quote that I love, and it'll be up behind me, Mike Todd, he's a pastor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is a dude. He is good. Like, if you haven't checked out Mike Todd's preaching, buddy's got some words. He said, it's so crazy how God will mess up your plan to get you in his purpose. It's so funny how God will mess up your plan to get you in his purpose. Right? See, God's purpose is greater than our plans. See, so often we make plans, right? I remember in Bible college, this drove me nuts. And I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm easily agitated. Like, ask my wife, I'm angry all the time. She will. She's like, testify. But the one thing that irked me is everyone always came to me in Bible college and they're like, oh yeah, I got figured out. I'm going to be a missionary pilot in this part of Africa. It's going to be great. I'm like, did God tell you that? I'm like, well, no, but like I just know in my heart. And you're like, okay, but you didn't talk to God about it. You didn't get that from God. You just made up that plan and hoped that he approved it. Right? So often we make plans and we ask God to co-sign off on them, rather than allowing him to make the plans and trusting that they're good. Right? See, in order to get to next level purpose, we need to understand that God's purpose is so much more than a step-by-step plan. Right? See, God's purpose is the reason we exist in the first place. God's purpose is why we're here. And it's so funny because, I actually looked at the stats on this, because I was like, I'm curious, and I'm that type of guy. Again, ask Rachel, I look up everything on Google. I wonder what the stats are on that. And there's a stat that says that the average person will hold 10 different careers in their life. And actually, if you're a millennial, so if you're a teenager in this room, you'll actually hold 15 before the time you turn 40. You'll hold 15 different jobs, on average. Wow. 15 jobs. So here's a little outre moment, as Curtis would say. If we can't hold a career, why are we not trusting God with the plan on our life, or the purpose on our life? If we can't even figure out a simple career. See, so often we ask God to bless a plan that he didn't make. And plans without purpose are useless to God. Right? If he can't get us in step with his purpose, why would he trust us with his plans? See, God will get you where you need to be if you just listen to him. Simple. Ouch for amen. That's an ouch for me. Another quote I found, which I love too, said, I was going around in a circle till Jesus gave me a compass. Right? And I thought of that quote and thought back to, when the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness. The promised land was right there. Right? But they were wandering around instead. So often we make these plans and we're just wandering. Right? We're just walking around and God's going, I know where you need to go. Go this way. Like, right there. So I want you to imagine with me, those with kids, even those without. Imagine you have kids, okay? Imagine you're making dinner. And your kids go, actually, Mom or Dad, we're going to have ice cream for dinner. This, like tonight, and tomorrow night, and the next night, and a week. Right? Probably not the best plan. And I know, the dads in the room are going, what type of ice cream? Right? It depends on the ice cream. But that plan, if you look at it, it may be nice once, right? Okay, yeah, fine, sure. You can have a treat, right? I'm too lazy, I don't want to make dinner, have some ice cream, right? But if you did that every night for a week or a month, your kids would get sick. They'd be harmed by it, right? So, why do we treat God's plans this way? God's like, oh, I have a purpose for your life. I want you to do something great with your life. And you're like, yeah, but see, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to do this and harm myself. Right? I know it doesn't line up with your plan, but you know what? I want to do it. So, right? Why do we treat God's plans this way? See, in that scenario, kids may think the plan is good. You know, ice cream equals good. So that's that, right? But in the long term, it can be harmful. See, when we make our own plans, they can be harmful to God's purpose for your life. And that's not to say that every plan is harmful to God's purpose for your life, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't plan anything, right? But what I'm saying is does your plan start with asking God, what is your purpose for my life? Right? See, God's plans may be difficult at times, but in the long run, they'll never harm you. And that's actually a promise from God, right? If you look in Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." Right? That's a promise. God promises that. He's not going to set you up for failure. See, God has something better for you, and His purpose is better than our plans. He knows more, so let's stop acting like we have it all figured out. See, plans are what we decided in advance, where God has purpose for our lives, and it's something He's made us for. Like when God thought of you, He had a purpose in mind. You weren't an accident. You weren't, oh, this is a surprise. I didn't mean to make a Dave. Whew, world can't handle that. Right? It wasn't a mistake. There was a purpose to it. And so that leads into our second point, is that sometimes next level purpose requires next level patience. It's a tough one. Said the P word. See, God's purpose is never rushed or late. It's paced out perfectly by Him, for Him. Notice in the Bible, and I got this from Mike Todd again, so this isn't necessarily my own work. Okay? He said, notice in the Bible how Jesus never ran to the next appointment, or mentioned He didn't have time and had to reschedule the miracle for today. Right, I'm sorry, I'd love to help you out, but I got a lot on my plate, so I'm going to have to push you to tomorrow. Right, Jesus never ran anywhere. Right? In fact, Jesus walked everywhere. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, they didn't have cars or whatever back then. But He didn't have a chariot. He didn't have a horse. Right? He walked everywhere. He took His time. Right? And actually, Jesus walked everywhere. He still fulfilled all the Old Testament prophecies about the Messiah. In 3 years. That's thousands of years of prophecies fulfilled in 3. And He was never rushed. Right? Never once. And actually, the funny thing is, too, is that the only animal Jesus ever rode was a donkey. A walking animal. Right? One of Jesus' most well-known miracles involved Him walking on water. Didn't say, oh, Jesus saw the disciples on the water and they were freaking out in the boat. He's like, oh no, and He ran out. No. Jesus walked out. Because, you know, He's awesome. So like, hey, what's up guys? We're freaking out. Dude's on the water. Right? One of His greatest miracles is Him walking. And so often, in our culture, we think when we get our purpose, that it starts right now. Oh, you know. And sometimes that is the case. Right? I'm not saying this is wrong. Right? But sometimes we push the purpose God has placed on our life on our own timeline. Oh, well, if God's called me to ministry, then I'm going to start preaching now. You're like, you're not prepared for that. Right? Or, oh, if God's called me to be a carpenter, well, I'm going to build that person a shed. And you're like, that's going to fall apart in 2 seconds. You have no training. Right? And sometimes God puts a purpose on our lives, but it calls for patience. And sometimes we want to make a plan happen. See, but it's not about when we want it to happen. It's about when He wills it to happen. Don't force it. See, so I want you to do something with me, okay? I want you to do something. Clap along my hands. So that's pace, right? I set a pace for you. So pace, God's pace, isn't fast or slow, it's set. Right? When God says something's going to happen, it's going to happen in His timing. You can try and make it happen faster, but at the end of the day, His pace prevails. Right? One person in this crowd could have been like, no, I'm clapping faster, I don't care. But our claps would have been louder. Right? And in sports, and again, I was raised playing sports. In sports, coaches say things like, you know, we need to take momentum, right? Or set the tone, you know? Play at your speed, right? Set the pace, right? And what they're saying is we need to play our game, right? Not theirs, ours. And the thing about God's pace is that it's perfect. His timing is perfect, right? He knows everything. Maybe we should trust that plan, right? See, you can't make God's plan come to pass faster than He allows it. And you see that in Proverbs 16, verse 9. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Right? You can make as many plans as you want, but God's purpose is the thing that will prevail. And another quote from my Todd that's now behind me, he said, anything God does great, He does with a long runway. It's been something that's been in the works for a long time. Right? See, God will get you to whatever place you need to be, again, if you just listen to Him. And so that leads us into our next point. And it's next level purpose requires next level trust in God. Right? If you want to get to your next level purpose, you need to trust God. Because guess what? Your next level purpose was picked by God. Have you ever asked this, have you ever asked God this about yourself, right? God, what's your will for my life? God, what's your purpose for my life? Have you ever asked, be honest, I have, thousands of times. Right? Especially when things get hard, you're like, this can't be God. See, we're so focused on getting to the next purpose of God, but He has you in this purpose. Right? See, it's not about next, it's about now. We're so focused on the future purposes of God that we neglect the present purpose of God. Right? We're like, oh, God called me to ministry, I'm going to do that. He's like, okay, well, where are you doing now? Oh, God called me to serve my community in the future. We're going to change everybody. He's like, okay, well, what are you doing now? Oh, I don't know. Right? So that another quote that I was like, ouch, ouch, ouch. Here behind me, Francis Chan, quote him all the time. He says, it's safer to commit to following Him someday than it is this day. It's safer to commit to following Jesus someday, or following His purpose someday, than it is to follow it this day. Right? See, God wants us to listen for His timing on the next thing. He still wants you to wait for it. Right? Because He does have something more. But He's asking you to work on the last thing that He called you to first. Right? Because sometimes we get caught up in it, right? I know Jesus is nudging me towards, and I use ministry a lot. No, I know Jesus is leading me towards ministry, but I don't know what it looks like. So I think it's worship leading. So, la 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 la, you're welcome. Right? God's going, no. Serve Serve ministry. Where are you right now? You're helping with kids? Okay, help with kids. Right? Well, Dave, what if he hasn't told me anything yet? Then wait on God. It says it in the Bible. It says wait on the Lord. So many times. I was like, okay, I know it. I don't remember which one I'm looking for. And all I typed in on Google was wait on the Lord. Do you know how many verses came up? He's like, well, I ain't finding it in there. That's a mess. Gotta get more specific. Literally, all through the Bible, it says, wait on God. If you don't have a plan yet, wait on Him. He'll give you one. It's not like He's like, I got nothing for that guy. And I never will. God's made you for His purpose. You exist for His purpose. If He hasn't given you anything yet, wait. And then do. And when He gives you something, don't wait for the next thing. Work on the thing He's given you. See, so often we'll get our purpose and we receive it. We're like, yes, God, that's so good. And then we make excuses why we can't do it. Right? Yeah. I do it. Am I going to lie to you? I do it. Oh, I'm too old. Yeah, God's calling me to help with the youth, but I am too old. There's no retirement age in the work of God. Are you joking? Please. Please. Oh, I'm too young. That doesn't fly with me. Like Curtis always says, there's no junior Holy Spirit. Right? Oh, I don't qualify. God doesn't call it qualified. He's called. Right? He's called you to it. He'll make you do it. He'll give you the tools. Oh, I'm not sure if this is God's purpose or my own. Well, if it seems easy and it doesn't stretch you, maybe ask God if it's His will or your beef from last night. I've done so much wrong. I'm such a bad person. God doesn't give us purpose based on our own merit. Thank you, Lord. Amen. See, we aren't supposed to be perfect for God. We're supposed to be present for Him. We aren't supposed to be perfect for God. He can't call you to that. It's not your role. You're just supposed to be present and listen. And like I said, there's no retirement age. And I'm going to pick on seniors here because I love doing that. See, I always pick on the youth, but then I neglect you guys. So guess what? You're a senior. Your job isn't done yet. See, I found this quote and I was like, oh, dang. This quote behind me says, none are so old as those who have outlived enthusiasm. Come on, that's good. Listen, if your body isn't doing it, if it's not going anymore, that's fine. Don't use it as an excuse to miss out on God's purpose for your life. That's good. And here's the thing too, you don't have strength. You don't have strength if you're older, you don't have strength if you're younger, you don't have strength. If there is something that's holding you back, congratulations, the joy of the Lord is your strength. It literally says that in the Bible. Right? Yes. The joy of the Lord is your strength. You don't need anything else. See, another quote that's not behind me, but it says, you are as young as your faith, as old as your doubt, as young as your self-confidence, as old as your fear, as young as your hope, as old as your despair. I think back, so my grandparents, I only have one living grandparent left, but my grandma Bishop, up until the day she died, she fulfilled her purpose with God. Right until the ripe old age of 91. Miriam Bishop, she was a champ. See, she wanted to honor God, be there for those that she could be, and love deeply. That was her purpose. And so, my grandma, if you didn't know Miriam was heavily involved in the church. Poor as could be, but heavily involved in the church. She sang in the choir, which I don't get, she couldn't sing. I mean, that's a miracle in itself. God really did it work. It was a big choir, she got away with it. It is very her voice. My grandpa was an usher, right? They were heavily involved in the church, but they were also heavily involved outside of it, right? They didn't limit their work to the church. Right up till the day she died, she had this list, and I've talked about this with some of you, or maybe I've said it in a message before, but she had this list, and it was a prayer list. And if you came encounter with her once, you were on that list. Whether she remembered you or not, you were on the list. And she prayed all day for those people. I'm not lying. We said, my mom would go to her, Mom, do you want TV? You have a chair, you have your Bible, you have a bulletin board with the pictures of people's faces. And that's it. You don't even have a bed. Do you want a TV? Something to entertain you? She's like, no. No, I'm going to pray. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to worship God. And my parents are faithful. You'll find out later, because I'm going to talk about them later. They're faithful people. And they're going, you're nuts, lady. That's not enough entertainment. The Bible? Yeah. And that's all she did. Listen, this paper was so thin from the oils on her hands, you could see through it. But she would pray for those people fervently. And when she couldn't, literally 2 days before her death, that was when she stopped praying for those people. And you know what she did? She gave it to my Uncle Norm and said, guess what? You need to pray for these people until the day I die. When I die, job's done. But you need to pray for them in these days until I die. And if you don't, you're not fulfilling your purpose, God. That's a woman of faith. That's a woman not letting her body determine her purpose. Right? She didn't remember half the names on them. She didn't know me. I came in one time and was like, who are you, young man? And wrote down my name again. I got my name on the list twice. It was great. Double prayer. See, her body didn't stop her from her purpose. Her mind didn't stop her. She said, God, use what I have, not what I once did. God, use what I have, not what I once did. Use my faith, God. Use what I have now. Not what I want to have, not what I once did, what I have now. Use it. And so that leads us to my last point here, is that she realized that her purpose was in the present. Right? Purpose, next level purpose, is in the present. And purpose, here's the thing, this is an outraging moment. And when I was studying this, I was like, oh, jeez, I gotta say this on stage. Is that purpose can be wasted if there's something you won't do for God. Purpose can be wasted. Right? God may have something more for you, but He's asking you to stretch. And see, there's things in my life I remember going prayer. I remember being a teenager going prayer, really. There are people like, oh, I'm praying for you. Oh, great. Thanks. And at the time I was, that's going to be nothing. But it's the little things that set up the big. Right? What you think is small may be setting up God's big. And something that may seem small to you, Carol is a perfect example. Something that may seem small to you, like a call to someone who's sick in your church, may be something big for them. Right? You don't know. Just because it's small to you doesn't mean it's small to everybody. It doesn't mean it's small to God's purpose. See, your small may be the incubator for God's big. Be faithful with the little so He can fulfill the big. Right? If God's given you something, do that something until He gives you something else. Because something is better than nothing. I remember, I'm going to go quick here. So, I remember my parents, when we started at Brayside, there was no pre-service prayer. So they were like, you know what, we're going to start pre-service prayer. We're going to do it every service. That's 2 services a day for 2 weeks straight. You're going to show up for 40 minutes before service to pray. And the only people that showed up were 4 old people, right? And I remember one of those ladies was the most influential lady in my life when I was a teenager. She's the one that got me in ministry. She's the one that got me saved. right? But she came, and my mom went up to them, and she just felt a nudge from God, and like, you know my mom, like, she's the kind of person that's like, she will obey God, but there are times where she fights God. Like, you want me to go twice a day for 40 minutes with 4 old people that are just going to talk my ear off? Okay, God. And she'll go. But she felt this nudge from the Holy Spirit goes, you know, surely you need to give them this message. And she said to them, she said, God has you in this season because it's your finest hour. This is your finest hour. And this, what you're doing right now, this prayer for this camp, what you're doing right now, will be the most important thing you do for the kingdom of God. It will be, and God told me to tell you that. Some of those people died that year. Right? But they were there fervently every service, 40 minutes before, praying the whole time. 5 people. I earnestly believe that Braeside would not be where it is now without those prayers. We had dynamic touches of God in that service. I got healed in those services. Friends got healed. Friends got baptized in the Spirit. Friends got called to ministry. Friends of mine were changed forever because of their prayers. Right? What seems small to you may be incubating what is big for God. You don't know. I asked my parents, I called them, they're in Florida too. I called them and I said, you know, Dad, I talked to my dad, I said, Dad, what's your purpose now? He said, I know you did ministry, you did youth ministry for a long time, you're on the board at the church. What's your purpose now? He said, you're gone from your church half the year, what do you do now? And he said, we try and sow seeds in everyone we can. He said, our purpose is, I'm going to read exactly what he said. He said, our purpose is to invest in the future. Because there are less opportunities as you get older to invest in people. My mom, so again, this is how I know my parents were full of faith. My mom said, I just feel like I'm not doing enough. She started a Bible study in her non-Christian camp in Florida. She has like 15 people coming. I'm like, where are they coming from? She's like, I just started. She's like, they're all different backgrounds. She's like, what's in this one? Of course they are. But Mom started it, right, because she knew that purpose is where you're placed. Purpose is where you're placed. And here's a little side note that I'm going to go into because I think it's important, is that purpose doesn't have a scale of work to God. Someone's purpose is not greater than your purpose. Someone's purpose is someone's purpose. It's theirs. Your purpose is your purpose. Focus on you. Focus on your purpose with God. I remember too, so I asked my dad too, I said, in the thick of it, when you were in ministry, what were the struggles of reminding yourself of purpose? He said, well, one thing I always had to remind myself was that purpose requires sacrifice. Purpose isn't easy. So there were times when there was teenagers, when we were doing youth, there was teenagers staying in our house until 3 a.m. and we wanted to go to bed. And my parents always joked that when they were doing youth ministry, it was super hard to find a babysitter. And I said, why? I'm like, you have a youth group, like 150 kids, how is that hard? They said, well, we kept getting unchurched kids. And then all the church kids would come home with us to hang out after youth until 3 in the morning and go, this sounds cool. Can I come this week? Sure, we'll find a new babysitter. And then they get sick. Like, dang it, we just need to find someone who is committed to not loving Jesus. We just need to find someone who's committed to it. That's all we need. Just an atheist. Someone who's like, no God, no. And to the point where they're like, I'll give up. Dave, come to youth. I know you're 4. Come to youth. And so I asked my dad too, I said, in the thick of it, what was the problem? He said, even when we weren't in the thick of it, we realized that purpose isn't always inside the church. When they stopped doing youth ministry, it was because my brother got really good at hockey. He was the athlete of the family. Well, admitted, don't tell him. Scott was the athlete. He got really good at hockey, and so they said, you know what, we're going to take this time for him. We know he loves it, we know he has a desire for it, we're going to take this time for him and put him in hockey. And so that took them away from youth ministry, and they're like, oh, what's our purpose now? Right? We were so firmly serving there, now what do we do? And they realized that their purpose is to be there for those players. Scott was the only Christian on his team. My parents were the only representation of Jesus on that team. And they still talk to those players and those coaches and those parents to this day. They're still the only representation. See, the purpose doesn't always have to be placed inside the church. Your purpose isn't hinging on the church. Purpose is where you're placed. And I remember thinking back to Moses, right? Use what you have, right? Or use what you have. He had a stick in his hand. Say, God, sometimes we look and we go, God, where's the snake? And, oh, where's the snake, God? He's like, it's in your hand. You're like, this is a stick. He's saying, use what I have. Use what I've given you. And see what I do with it. Right? And so, to close, oh wait, one more quote. This is from my dad, when I call Little Ray. Little Ray said, purpose is always in the present. It morphs, but it doesn't end. It's not in the past or in the future. Right? Purpose, it can change. He's like, in my life, my purpose is taking different shapes. And it can change, but purpose is always in the present. So to close, these are my 3 takeaways for you. Purpose requires prayer. Pray for God's purpose daily. Instead of asking God, what's your will for my life? Say, God, what's your purpose for today? God, what do you want me to do today? Because I guarantee you, if you follow that plan, and you listen to his voice that much, you're in his purpose. One quote I found said, I never pray for more than 20 minutes. But I never go 20 minutes without prayer. Right? Be actively praying to God. Purpose requires trust. See, when God gives you purpose, when God gives you purpose, trust that it's good. Even what seems small, do less so he can do more. And then finally, purpose is in the present. So many of us want God to provide an answer aside from us. Right? We're like, oh God, I pray that you would change Sundridge. He's like, all right, I want you to go here. And you're like, ooh, not me. Whoa, slow down, big guy. No. I mean, like, God, I want you to get someone else to change Sundridge. You live here. Don't wait until tomorrow to fulfill God's purpose in your life today. Don't wait for the next purpose. Wait for the last one. So let's pray. God, we thank you today for your word. We pray that you would instill purpose in our lives. Lord, if we haven't received purpose from you, or we haven't gotten a plan or a vision or something that we need to do, Lord, I pray that right now, even in this moment, that you would start revealing purpose to the people in this room. And Lord, I pray that for those that have purpose or have dreams on their life, Lord, I pray that you just start opening doors for them. And Lord, even, the word that scares us, patience, Lord, I pray you give us divine patience. Patience to see your purpose and see them through. And so, Lord, we pray today that you'd be with us as we walk, that we wouldn't just take this message and leave it here, but Lord, we take it with us. That we follow your purpose, so we ask for your purpose, because your purpose is better than our purpose. So we pray this all in your name. Amen.